The Regional Business Excellence Awards were held at the convention center downtown. 500 business leaders, entrepreneurs, and corporate executives gathered for dinner and recognition ceremonies. My brother Trevor was receiving the Young Entrepreneur Award for his boutique marketing agency. 3 years in business, 20 employees, respectable local client roster. Mom had insisted I attend. "It'll be good for you to network," she'd said on the phone. "Maybe you'll meet someone who's hiring. You can't stay unemployed forever, Sarah." "I'm not unemployed," I'd said for the 1,000th time. "Between jobs then," Mom had corrected as if the semantics mattered. "Just come support your brother. Dress professionally. Bring resumes. Become professional dress. No resumes." Now I stood near the registration table, watching Trevor work the room in his tailored suit, shaking hands, exchanging business cards, playing the part of successful young businessman perfectly. "Sarah." Mom waved me over to where she stood with Dad and a cluster of their country club friends. "Come meet the Hendersons. Bill, Margaret, this is our daughter Sarah." "Lovely to meet you," Margaret said warmly. "Do you work with Trevor at his agency?" "No, Sarah's in a different field," Mom said quickly, that apologetic tone creeping in. "She's actually between positions right now. Exploring her options." "I run a software development company," I said evenly. Mom laughed, that dismissive little laugh that made my teeth grind. "She does some freelance computer work. Very technical. Hard to explain." "Freelancing can be tough," Bill said sympathetically. "Inconsistent income, no benefits. Have you thought about looking for something more stable?" "I have 73 employees," I said. "Revenue of $42 million last year. I'm quite stable." Silence. Then more of Mom's laughter. "Sarah has a wonderful imagination," she told the Hendersons. "Always has. Trevor got the business sense, but Sarah's very creative." Dad jumped in. "The tech industry is tough right now. Lots of layoffs. Sarah's been struggling to find something permanent. We keep telling her to expand her search. Maybe retail management, something with transferable skills." "I don't need to expand my search," I said quietly. "I'm not looking for a job." "Pride isn't going to pay your bills, sweetheart," Dad said, patting my shoulder. "There's no shame in taking a step back career-wise. Plenty of people your age are dealing with setbacks." "I haven't had any setbacks." "Of course not," Mom said in that placating voice. "You're doing your best. But maybe tonight you can talk to some of Trevor's contacts. His agency works with real companies, corporations with HR departments, benefits packages, actual salaries." Trevor appeared, grinning, arm around a woman in an elegant dress. "Mom, Dad, you remember Vanessa? My girlfriend." Everyone cooed appropriately. Vanessa was beautiful, poised, worked in pharmaceutical sales. "And Sarah," Trevor said, finally acknowledging me. "Still hanging in there?" "Hanging in where?" I asked. "You know, the job search. Tough market." He lowered his voice conspiratorially. "Hey, if you need some temp work, my agency sometimes needs admin help. Part-time, but it's something I could put in a word." "I don't need temp work," I said. Right. The freelance thing." Trevor nodded like I'd said I was selling friendship bracelets on Etsy. "Well, offer stands. Can't be easy working alone in your apartment. No coworkers, no structure. At least with temp work you'd be around people." "I have 73 coworkers," I said. Trevor laughed. "Sure you do. Come on, let's get to our table. They're starting soon." Our table was number 12, good positioning, near the front but not quite at the VIP tables. Mom had made sure everyone knew Trevor was receiving an award tonight. I sat between an uncle I barely knew and one of Trevor's college friends who spent dinner talking about crypto investments. On stage, the MC was announcing the evening's schedule. "We have 8 award categories tonight, culminating with our most prestigious honor, the Technology Innovation Leadership Award, recognizing transformative contributions to our region's tech sector." "That's the big one," Trevor whispered to Vanessa. "CEO of Datacorp won it last year. Major prestige." Mom leaned over. "Trevor, your award is coming up soon. 4th category. Young Entrepreneur Award," Trevor said proudly. "Nominees are all under 35, running successful local businesses. It's competitive." "You deserve it, honey," Mom said. 3 years and you've built something real. Actual office space, real employees, tangible success. Her emphasis on real and actual wasn't subtle. She glanced at me. I smiled and said nothing. My phone buzzed. Text from my CTO Marcus. You're still going through with this, right? Not too late to back out if family drama isn't worth it. Me, I'm sure. Marcus, your funeral. Or theirs. Either way, I'm getting popcorn. The first 3 awards passed. Excellence in Retail, Innovation in Healthcare, Community Impact. Each winner gave a brief speech, accepted their plaque, posed for photos. Then the MC announced, "Our next category celebrates entrepreneurial spirit and business acumen. The Young Entrepreneur Award recognizes individuals under 35 who have demonstrated exceptional leadership in building successful enterprises. This year's nominees are..." Trevor sat up straighter, adjusting his tie. Trevor Callahan, Callahan Marketing Solutions. Jessica Rodriguez, Greenleaf Consulting. Michael Chin and Associates Financial Planning. Polite applause for each name. And the winner is Trevor Callahan. Our table erupted. Mom actually shrieked. Dad was on his feet applauding. Trevor stood, buttoned his jacket, and walked confidently to the stage. He accepted the award, shook hands, and stepped to the microphone. "Thank you so much," Trevor said, his voice smooth and practiced. "When I started my agency 3 years ago, I had nothing but a laptop and a dream. Today we're a team of 20 serving clients across the region. This award validates every risk I took, every late night, every sacrifice." Mom was crying. Dad beamed with pride. "I want to thank my parents for believing in me," Trevor continued. "For supporting my vision even when it seemed crazy to leave my corporate job and start a business. Their faith made this possible." The irony wasn't lost on me. Trevor had left a job making $60,000 to start his agency. Everyone had called him brave, visionary, bold. I'd left a job making $75,000 to start my software company. Everyone had called me reckless, foolish, lost. The difference? Trevor's business was visible. Office space, employees in a physical location, services you could explain at a dinner party. My business was code. Infrastructure. APIs and cloud architecture and developer tools. Invisible to anyone who didn't understand technology. Therefore not real. Trevor finished his speech to thunderous applause and returned to our table, award in hand. "Speech was perfect," Mom gushed. "You're so articulate. So professional." "That's what real business training does," Dad said. "MBA from state, corporate experience, then entrepreneurship. The right path." Trevor grinned at me. "Maybe this will inspire you, Sarah. Show you what's possible if you commit to something seriously." "I'm inspired," I said flatly. Build up. 3 more awards were presented. Excellence in Manufacturing went to a factory owner. Sustainability Leadership went to a green energy startup. Community Partnership went to a nonprofit director. Each winner walked on stage, accepted their award, gave their speech. Trevor kept his award on the table where everyone could see it, occasionally touching it like a talisman. "What are you going to do with it?" Vanessa asked. "Display case in the office lobby," Trevor said. "Good for client impressions. Shows we're legitimate, award-winning. Smart branding," Dad approved. "That's the kind of strategic thinking that builds businesses." Mom turned to me. "Sarah, did you talk to anyone during the cocktail hour? Make any connections?" "A few people," I said vaguely. "Good. You need to network. That's how opportunities happen." Mom glanced around the ballroom. "See that man at table 4? That's Robert Chin. He runs the Chamber of Commerce. You should introduce yourself. Mention you're looking for work." "I'm not looking for work." "Honey, please," Mom said tiredly. "We're trying to help you. Trevor's success tonight should show you what's possible when you take business seriously. Real business with real structure." "My business has structure," I said. "Working from your apartment isn't structure," Dad said. "It's isolation. It's avoidance. At some point, you need to accept that your tech experiment didn't work out and move on." "It didn't not work out," I said carefully. "Then where's your award?" Trevor asked, gesturing at his plaque. "Where's your recognition? Your proof of success?" I opened my mouth to respond, but the MC's voice cut through the conversation. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our final and most prestigious award of the evening. The Technology Innovation Leadership Award recognizes an individual who has made transformative contributions to our region's technology sector through visionary leadership, groundbreaking innovation, and measurable economic impact. Trevor settled back in his chair, interest waning now that his category had passed. This award honors not just business success, but genuine innovation that advances our entire community, the MC continued. This year's recipient has built a company that's become essential infrastructure for developers worldwide. Their platform powers applications used by over 100 million people daily. I felt my heart rate increase. They've created 238 high-paying tech jobs in our region. They've contributed over $15 million to our local economy. And they've done it while maintaining a commitment to ethical technology and user privacy. Mom was checking her phone. Dad was talking to the uncle next to him. Trevor was whispering something to Vanessa. None of them were paying attention. This year's Technology Innovation Leadership Award recipient started their company 8 years ago with $5,000 in savings and a vision for better developer tools. Today their company, DevStream Technologies, is valued at $800 million and serves clients in 43 countries. Trevor's head snapped up. DevStream? I've heard of them. They're huge. Please join me in welcoming the founder and CEO of DevStream Technologies, the MC said. Sarah Callahan. Revelation. The ballroom went silent, then erupted in applause. I stood slowly, smoothing my dress. At our table, Mom's phone slipped from her hands, clattering onto her dinner plate. Dad's face went white. Trevor stared at me like I'd transformed into a different species entirely. What? Mom whispered. What's happening? I walked toward the stage. The applause grew louder. People at other tables, people I didn't know, were standing, giving me a standing ovation. I climbed the steps. The MC handed me a crystal award, heavy, elegant, substantial. Nothing like Trevor's engraved plaque. I stepped to the microphone. The lights were bright. 500 faces watched me. Thank you, I said, my voice steady. I'm honored to receive this recognition. DevStream Technologies started in my apartment 8 years ago. Just me, a laptop, and an idea that developers needed better tools for application monitoring and debugging. I could see my family's table clearly. Mom was frozen, mouth open. Dad was staring like he'd never seen me before. Trevor looked like he'd been slapped. We grew slowly at first. Just me for the first year. Then I hired 2 developers. Then 5. Then 20. Today we're 238 employees strong with offices in 3 cities. But we started in that apartment with what my family called my freelance computer work. A ripple of knowing laughter through the audience. DevStream's API platform now powers monitoring for over 40,000 applications worldwide. Our tools help developers identify bugs, optimize performance, and improve user experience. We've prevented countless crashes, saved companies millions in downtime, and made the internet a little bit more reliable. More applause. This award represents 8 years of 18-hour days, of maxed-out credit cards, of choosing to build something meaningful over something easy, of believing in a vision even when others called it a hobby. I looked directly at my family's table. I want to thank everyone who believed in DevStream from the beginning. My first angel investors who took a chance on a 26-year-old with no MBA. My early employees who joined when we could barely afford market rate salaries. My clients who trusted us when we were just a startup. I paused. And I want to acknowledge that success looks different for everyone. My brother received a well-deserved award tonight for building a 20-person agency. That's legitimate success and I'm proud of him. But I hope this reminds us not to dismiss what we don't understand. Some of the most valuable things are invisible until you know where to look. The applause was deafening. I walked off stage, crystal award in hand, as people stood once again. I didn't return to table 12. Instead, I was intercepted by 3 separate CEOs wanting to discuss partnerships, by a venture capitalist interested in our next funding round, by a journalist requesting an interview. Behind them I could see my family. Still at their table. Still frozen in place. Trevor's award looked very small from where I stood. Resolution. I left the ceremony early, citing morning meetings, which was true. DevStream's board meeting was at 8 a.m. Mom caught me at the coat check. Sir, wait. We need to talk. About what? I asked, shrugging on my jacket. About your company. DevStream. Why didn't you tell us? I did tell you, I said calmly. Multiple times. You called it freelance computer work. Dad suggested retail management. Trevor offered me temp work at his agency. Mom's eyes filled with tears. We didn't understand. You never explained. I explained constantly, I interrupted. You didn't listen. There's a difference. Dad appeared, Trevor behind him. $800 million, Dad said hoarsely. Your company is worth $800 million? That was our last valuation, I confirmed. We're raising a Series D next quarter. Expecting to hit unicorn status. Unicorn? Trevor asked faintly. Billion-dollar valuation, I said. Standard tech term. Why didn't you say something? Trevor demanded. All this time letting us think you were struggling. I wasn't letting you think anything, I said. You thought it on your own. You decided my business wasn't real because it didn't look like yours. We tried to help you, Dad protested. We offered advice, connections. You offered pity, I corrected. You offered judgment. You never once asked to see what I'd built. You never visited my office. You never asked about revenue, clients, employees, growth. You just decided I was failing and treated me accordingly. That's not fair, Mom said. We're your family. We want what's best for you. You wanted me to fit your definition of success, I said. When I didn't, you wrote me off. Trevor's face was flushed. So what, you came here to embarrass us? To show off? I came because Mom insisted, I said. The award committee asked me to accept in person. I could have declined. Maybe I should have. But I wanted you to see what you missed. This is cruel, Mom whispered. This is honest, I said. You've spent 8 years treating my career like a failure. You suggested retail work at my own award ceremony. That's cruel. This is just consequences. I started toward the exit. Sarah, Dad called after me. Let's have dinner. Talk about this properly. I want to understand your business. Now you want to understand, I said, not turning around. 8 years and $800 million later. I left. 2 months have passed since that night. Mom calls weekly, leaving voicemails about being proud, about misunderstanding. I haven't returned the calls. Dad sent a card congratulating me on the award. I threw it away. Trevor texted once. We need to talk about what happened. I blocked his number. Last week, DevStream announced our Series D, $250 million at a $1.3 billion valuation. We're officially a unicorn. Trevor's marketing agency was mentioned in a local business journal article. 25 employees now. Good for him. I mean that sincerely. But I don't need his validation anymore. Or Mom's pride. Or Dad's understanding. They had 8 years to offer those things. They chose to offer pity and advice for retail work instead. I built a billion-dollar company while they told me to get a real job. That's not spite. It's just proof. The end.